This is Kerema, one of the most remote towns in one of the most remote countries on earth, Papua New Guinea. This forgotten capital of the Gulf province has been dislocated from the outside world for more than a decade. Cut off by a mere 67 kilometers from the nearest town Malalua, which connects to Papua New Guinea's capital, Port Moresby. This is the story of a road, but it's not just about the road. This is the story of people who have been forgotten for too long and finally have a chance to reconnect to the nation, opportunities and services. The road was rendered impossible by years of neglect, torrential rains, flooding, swampy conditions and jungle overgrowth. This passage was the Gulf province's lifeline. With no road, education, health, trade, employment and thousands of lives have been compromised. More remote than Kerema itself are the villages dotted around the province. As the gateway to the Gulf, Kerema is the epicenter of all activity. Koko Max is from Womai village, 20 kilometers from Kerema.
I want to see good road condition and health facilities, school, like the type of things in my area. So mostly we used to have difficulties.
With no roads, access to Kerema has been limited to a treacherous water crossing. Here, boats traverse the wild oceans from Sapeharo and enter Kerema via the mouth of the Tairuma River. People, medical supplies, fuel and food desperately try to make their way to remote Kerema, but many do not complete the journey due to the boats being overcrowded and fully laden with supplies.
I'm one of the skippers. I've been traveling in the sea for about 11 years. And traveling in the sea is one of our main biggest transport. We don't have road access, but those years of my traveling in the sea, we've lost so many lives in the sea. Like almost last year starting, we almost lost about 500 people. But sometimes we, as skippers, during lives lost in the sea, we sometimes risk our lives in the sea, even rescuing people, sometimes to find dead bodies.
Because of transport cost and risks, little comes into Kerema and little gets out. What does come in is extraordinarily expensive. Basic items like rice are beyond the means of most. Despite the region being a national hub for high-demand produce like betel nuts, sago, pineapples and fish, there are few avenues for the villagers to sell their produce. Koko Max's village relies on sago and betel nut for their livelihood.
So we Gulf people used to get very hard or difficult to go to Port Moresby to sell our goods and everything. Cash crops like betel nuts. Mainly betel nut is our cash crop in our province.
The combination of high prices and low incomes has led to the perilously poor living conditions for citizens living in Kerema and beyond. Like Mokoa from Opawa village, a mother of 4 who comes to Kerema to sell her produce.
We used to come to Kerema town to sell our good do our market in Kerema town. Garden foods, betel nuts, and our main cash crop is sago. We used to come and sell those things at the market. We get small money, and we used to come and buy things from the stores in this town. So the money we get from the market is not big. And we used to come and spend more expenses on this food from the store. Sometimes when I sell my cash crops at the market, if I get little money, it's very hard for me to look after my children.
Ken runs the only company based in Kerema and is the town's largest employer. He runs a fuel company bringing in much needed diesel supplies and Yana farm. He struggles with both.
So road is a hindrance to my further development of this farm, where I want to sell my produce. Sometimes when road is not good, they rotten away. so I lose money. When sea is rough, that means we have to risk our life, and sometimes our dinghy capsizes due to bad weather and rough sea, and we lose everything in the sea, and I lose my income, and I make loss. So important thing is we want a road to be constructed. My future planning of this farm is that we are going to put a hydro and a furniture workshop, and then we employ the village people and create employment for them. When the road opens, then easily we can take those things for market in Port Moresby and other places.
Kerema's electricity is dependent on small dinghies laden with almost a ton of diesel, which negotiate the dangerous waters to reach Kerema. Diesel barrels are thrown overboard for Cairns employers to wade out and pick up the fuel.
Sometimes the sea is very rough, and we risk our life to go and bring the drums just to come and give the service to the town, and power can be on. And sometimes when the dinghy is capsized because of the rough seas, we leave the drum in the open sea.
When diesel doesn't arrive, Kerema has no electricity. Its remoteness has rendered the Gulf one of the least developed provinces in the country. Here, almost 1 in 5 children die before their 5th birthday. The average Gulf citizen lives to around 47 years old. Women and children bear the biggest burden of not having a road. Priscilla from Avery village, 22 kilometers from Kerema, has struggled for years.
Ere mi arrivare che mai kere ipi vika bota taka swahia ya pia tora fasai ua bodu te kiriba hospital fu swahia malabi mi mala karikara.
Overall from Womaya village has struggled to educate her children.
Eri mi te pira mburari tiri evia o high school war o primary war ari so hatiri taraka usire so taraka ka biri mbura tati fai pi buri haruka usire titai karikara ari so ari houcha ipiri hoi ka herere ari tiri evia. O te haro tai e kapu iai te vai vira mburi e vai mai taka nai to tohia selsire ndore mokuri ki vere tivi selte mai kere. So o te haro e kapu vai karu ari tiri sewa i te suavi buika e te tohia iria videri tai.
In sleepy Kerema, the busiest place in town is the hospital. Throughout the morning, villagers trek long distance into town to see the doctors. Joseph Ani from Womaya village waited a week before making the 20-kilometer hop into town. For Eme, travelling frequently to Kerema Hospital with her sick daughter is taking its toll.
Yeah, it's difficult. I used to spend transport for money, 10 kina. Going to the village is 5 kina, come to Kerema is 5 kina, that's 10 kina. Because my small daughter is very sick, she is always problem with blood. Every time I come to the hospital, transfer her with blood, go to the village, stay 3 or 2 months, I come back again. They transfer the blood again. It's now about 5 years.
For Dr. John Kiap, the CEO of the Kerema Hospital, running the province's main hospital without road access is proving a major challenge.
We don't have a bank to start off with. There's no school, there's no proper school here. And there's not much or many shops here that can provide varieties and good refrigerated goods and vegetables. So in this kind of a place, doctors in the past have not lasted long. Usually the health services are run by our nurses, our paramedics, our health extension officers and others, and rarely you get doctors in this place simply because they think that they're cut off from other parts of Papua New Guinea. To mobilize supplies into Kerema is the most difficult part of our administration here. And to date, 2 weeks now, and we haven't received the medical supplies yet. And at the moment, you see, we are running short of basic anti-malarial medication, antibiotics, Panadol, the routine medicines that are on demand every now and then.
The lack of roads has drastically affected education in the area. It is difficult for children in outlying villages to attend the secondary school, with many having to board.
10 weeks in a term, so after 10 weeks they go home. Again they walk home and they come back walking. And sometimes girls particularly, they have to come with their parents, so for security wise they're very bad for our girls. A couple of our girls has been chased and raped by our villagers along the way. But it's quite risky. The problem is our girls are vulnerable for that kind of attack.
Our topic today is on law and leadership.
And when it's rough sea, we don't have supply coming in. School materials don't come in, and food, we have problem with, because this is a boarding school, we need to have a ration for our boarding students. Our students from Malala away, they have to come through by boat, dinghy, and when the weather is rough, they'll arrive here late. So they don't come on time because of the weather, and so as when they come on the road, it's quite difficult. They walk 2 hours, 3 hours. Sometimes they meet up problems on the way.
16-year-old Suriel Wake is a Year 9 student at Kerema Secondary School.
When girls walk by themselves on the road, like sometimes when boys go around with girls, when they walk, sometimes the village boys, they drink this alcohol and take drugs, and they come and belt the school boys, and then they rape some of the school girls.
Riding to school in a school bus would help to protect the girls, but first, an all-weather road would be essential. The World Bank and USAID are supporting the government of Papua New Guinea to reconstruct the road connecting Kerema with Port Moresby. The government is committed to rebuilding the final stretch of road to Kerema through the road maintenance and rehabilitation projects, which are supported by the World Bank. This new road will be built to withstand the swampy environment and the extreme weather conditions.
What we do is we repair the bad areas, and we reform the road. We provide more drainage facilities and raise the sections where the road is low, and we'll put a surface layer on top of it. Because since this road was badly damaged or very inaccessible, bad state of the condition, it is costing around 500,000 per kilometer to fix the road, and this involves reforming the road and graveling the section.
While the road will bring in the good, it will be important for the community and the government to manage potential risks. As Halvi Hairi, a HIV/AIDS educator, explains.
When road goes in, there are like other influences coming into the level of our area. So that means that we have to be very careful on how we're gonna educate our people about HIV/AIDS.
The road will be finished in 2011. Where road construction has already been completed, it has transformed people's lives. Lawrence lives in a village 10 kilometers from Kerema, along the newly constructed road.
I sell chickens here. I sell it for 35 kina for one. We made a lot of money. People traveling on the vehicles, and when they see the notice on the side of the road, they just stop there, go down. There's only one chicken left here. all the chicken corn. I want to be a teacher, so maybe next year or after next year I want to go to teachers college.
Ihu village is 10 kilometers from Kerema and home to Mona, a mother of 5. The new road has helped both Mona and her family sell their produce at the market and make more money. It has helped them to overcome many of the obstacles that existed before.
Yeah, now on this time, now yes. Me hamamas, because last time me plus like some hard times straight. Local housing na golo market. Before me plus stop. Month lo me say walk about. Rain time, big plus rain low night. Say walk about. Time mix sim sick or pikinini sick. Say go down. Sim car long Kerema town housing car. Then say come on top. Night me plus up. Before me plus I carry heavy bag long, shoulder or long head. Me plus I carry him go down market. Apinu me plus I walk about come on top again. Na lo this la time, and me plus have mamas now. Lo heavy kako me plus sim kan wait lo road kalsa piki me plus. O sem have mamas. Me play sort lo school fees or lo buy housing fee. Before me play say sim 20 kina or some peanut me play say sim go down 20 kina. 10 kina lo kau sim lo market that's all. Now yeah, me play say now me play sim 30 kina. Or 40 kina, 50 kina lo market now. Na me play mamas now. Lo pay school fee or pay housing fee. Na sometimes like kolo mospi. Pay PMV 50 kina lo here na kolo mospi.
Like you cotton, brady cacao, or tapioca, or one carpet. Miki simko market.
Many see the completion of the road as central to fulfilling their dreams.
I feel that once when the road linking is better between Kerema and Mosby, there will be so many changes out here. People will have better homes and the life that we're in now.
If the road is connected into town here, a good road, then there will be many business opportunities.
As for the hospital,
for the director of Kerema Hospital, he believes the road will help fulfill his dream of building a new hospital for Kerema. This is not a story of a road. This is a story about people's lives, children's education, doctors, medical supplies, mothers, markets, food and fuel, the things that matter.